Well, it's still in city this morning, and of course, I have a cheering news for you. It is my singular honor to introduce to you one of Platter's finest. He has made us proud in his songs. He speaks about Platter, he talks about Platter, he walks Platter, he dresses Platter. And who is this person, if you may ask? I'm talking about Ezra Jinang. He is a household name, and I'm sure you know that by now.
Mr. Platter, you would say.
Yes, Mr. Platter, if we will say. Yeah, it's good to have you join us this morning on Teen City this morning.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We'll start the ball rolling immediately. Who is Ezra Jinang?
Well, like you rightly said, Ezra Jinang is a singer, a husband, a father, a lawyer, and the son of Platter Soil.
Yeah, so that gave you the title Mr. Platter, like Zach said. Well, can you lead us into the world of music? How did it start? Because I know most people will tell you that I started when I was in the choir, in the church choir, or in my mother's womb, and all that. How did yours revolve? Because I know most people really started from the church choir or when they were very little.
Yeah, thank you very much. In my case, I think I started music, of course, from the church choir at the age of, let me say, 13, 14. Okay. Yeah, we were recruited into the choir, and then somehow there we learned keys, we learned parts, even though the contemporary music and the conventional choir, the patterns seem to be a bit slightly different, but then it actually groomed me for the contemporary music, and then at the age of 17, 18, I metamorphosed into the contemporary music. Yes.
Alright, by the way, you look fresh, and you've added a bit of weight from the last time we met.
Well, we thank God.
Okay, what do you think makes a good musician?
Yeah, of course, it's a commitment. Once you discover yourself, you discover that you are gifted. It has to start from there. Then you have to be committed. You have to be determined. You have to be, hardworking. Hardworking, talking about well, being a musician is a compound word. You could be a singer. Some people sing and play instruments. Some people write. Some people are in the studio and all that. So it's left for one to identify, the area of his strength, and then exert your effort. Your hard working should be, tailored towards that. So I'm sure the common denominator is hard work. And then, of course, you should be able to know your industry very well. You should be up to date. You should not be outdated and all that. I think these are the major things that could make a musician successful.
Now, there's this unique thing about you, talking about starting music at the age of 14. So that means you've chosen music before law.
Exactly.
Now, how can you relate? Are you still going back to practicing law, or you just read it for reading's sake, so that whoever goes to steal your work, you just
face the music?
Or can we get to know why?
Let me start by saying, to me, I see music as life. First of all, music. I don't think I chose music. I think music chose me. Okay. Yes. I grew up to find myself loving singing. There was never any time in my life that I sat down to say, let me make music a profession. I just found myself singing, and I believed it was in it. It was in me, right from maybe my mother's womb, or right from God. So I found myself singing, and I grew up singing, and it was later that I I discovered I could make a profession out of it. You know, yeah. And so, you know, later I realized this is a career. You're not just singing it. It's a career, and then that was when. But before that could get into me, I knew that I had dreams, academic dreams, and all that. And becoming a lawyer was one of my dreams. Long before I realized that music is a career. And then somehow it had already, you know, held grip of me that I couldn't just let it go, even though I was enjoying my music, but I had to go back and ensure that I achieved the dream of becoming a lawyer. And then to answer the second part of your question, whether I'm going to leave music to go back to practice law or something, well, left to me, I feel, you know, when I became a lawyer, and then later went back for my master's, and I major on intellectual property. Okay. I realized music and law cannot be separated.
How is that?
Okay. You can't, in fact, I see them like twin brothers, because you cannot talk about music without talking about without talking about copyrights, for example. And you cannot talk about copyrights without talking about law or the legal profession. So they are intertwined, kind of, because if you look at it very well, if you take copyright out of music, if you take copyright law out of music, then music has become a charity organization or charity. It's no more an industry. So music, for it to actually exist and work as an industry or as a profession, copyright has to be there. And then for copyright to work, law has to be there. So I enjoy mixing law and music because of this simple reason. And then recently I've been helping a lot of musicians around, you know, trying to expose them, open their eyes up to what music, the relationship between music and the copyright. Yes.
What's your relationship with Deepanam Music College?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I am privileged to be lecturing intellectual property in Panam Music College, and we do a lot on copyright. Of course, intellectual property is wider than just copyright. You know, you talk about patents, you talk about trademarks, you talk about other genres of intellectual property like confidential information and the rest of them. And then recently digital distribution of music and all that. So it's very wide. So that's basically, I enjoy doing that because it relates to music. So I enjoy doing it. I so much have pleasure doing that.
Yeah. The song we just played, Sweet Platter, is from your third album.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a song that actually announced you?
Well, it's yes and no, but yes. Yes, because I think Sweet Plateau remains one of my most popular songs. Yes.
It's a classic.
Well, to God be the glory. Yeah, I think it was when that song came up that I frequent media houses like this.
Okay.
You know, and like you rightly said.
And the stage too.
Of course, the stage, yes. That's what actually announced me, but I think I have other songs that I think people like. Okay. Yes.
Like the next one we will take, it's Yesu Asekia. As Jesus at the center.
At the center, yes. This song came up, it's a recent song. Yeah, it's a recent song. You know, the emphasis in that song is that in spite of what we're going through, talking about the corona thing, talking about insurgencies, talking about the economy and all that, there is Jesus in the center. So it's a song of encouragement.
Who did you work with on that video? Who produced or directed it?
Of course, my friend Steve Lara.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we're expecting more videos from you. What are you working on?
yeah, exactly. I just released an album, let me say, a week ago.
Okay.
A video,
Wow.
yeah, titled Magani.
Okay.
Magani,
Medicine.
medicine.
What
the cure.
inspired that title though?
Of course, it was an emergency. Of course, the pandemic, the corona pandemic, gave birth to the album.
Okay.
You know, as it is known, there's no cure for corona so far. You know, and I kept wondering in my closet why even the world powers and the best scientists in the world cannot find a cure for that.
Okay.
And then we went into prayers. And then the word of consolation came from God, that God is the cure. Because anything that defies solution, human solution, we have to go back to our Creator. So the song refers people to God. Or in other words, the song emphasized that we should all go back to our Creator, ask Him for forgiveness, because He definitely has a cure. Yes, ma'am.
And you know, most times there are one or two things that spur people to sing. Some will get to tell you the inspiration, some the dreams and all that. Which of your songs spur you into prominence or doing the next thing or taking the next step?
Well, like we said earlier, there are quite a number of songs that I can say actually announced me. The Sweet Platter we played is one of them. I have other songs like By His Grace I Am Alive, which came after the 2001 crisis.
Okay.
I was attacked and I somehow I escaped, and that really, the weight of that circumstance on me inspired me, you know. Yeah, I said nothing, humanly speaking, nothing could have made me escape what I went through if not for God's grace, because it's not, I didn't earn it. So By His Grace is one of the songs. I have other songs like Al Ajibi, Rawan Plateau, One Plateau, and Plateau Zezama Kamar Mulkin Sama. These are some of the songs I can say over the years God has helped me to, you know, to bring to bear, and they actually, you know, remain, you know, blueprints. They actually remain, I mean, footprints in the history of my music journey.
13 albums. You must have either a supportive family or a distracting one. Which one is it?
You can guess. Of course, they said behind a successful man.
No, beside.
Okay, it's beside, right?
Beside,
Okay, beside. Okay, my own, she's beside and behind and in the front, all over. She's every angle, you know. Actually, they've been very, very supportive.
Okay.
I appreciate them.
Is any one of the children taking after you? I mean, Dabs has Dash. He plays every instrument started at age 5.
Well, that's okay. Well, like in my case, the kids are still quite young, but then I could still. I am suspecting my daughter. She's the last born. Everything about singing attracts her. Anything you put in song,
Wow.
she does not miss it. Even in school,
Interesting.
any nursery rhyme, anything that is song in nature, she doesn't escape her brain.
Wow.
And you know, and even though I have one of the boys that love coming close to my acoustic guitar,
Okay.
always whenever I start playing, he will just be watching me. So I guess I'm going to have a band in my house very soon.
You should.
Yeah, you know, it's only normal for such to happen.
Okay, they say
Yeah.
a cat cannot give birth to a mouse.
Of
so-
course.
Thank you.
That is it. You know, it has been an interesting moment, and we've been talking with our own Ezra Jinang. And you know, it's going to be so not okay, if I should use that word. And it will be a crime Now we bring somebody in the studio. You've just been listening to his songs on TV and he didn't play it live. I want to give him this few minutes to say something to Platter and something to PRTV and something again for Tin City this morning. Ezra, can you give us something? Because you know musicians, when you wake them up any time of the day, they have something to say. To compose the song is not hard anymore. For somebody who has like 13 albums. To his credit.
Thank you very much. I think this is my best moment. I'll start with the worship song. Then we sing the Platter song. From the bottom of my heart, we thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, we worship you. These are the fruits of our lips. These are the fruits of our lips. We pray, we praise, we sing, we worship you. These are the fruits of our lips. These are the fruits of our lips. We pray, we pray, we praise, we sing, we worship you. These are the fruits of our lips. Oh. It is your goodness that makes me sing. It is your goodness that makes me jump around. You've been so good to me. You've been so good to me. We pray, we pray, we pray, we sing. Oh, we worship you. These are the fruits of our lips. These are the fruits of our lips.
God must answer prayers when the song like this is ready.
Thank you very much. That is Hebrews 13:15. It says, let us continually offer unto God sacrifice of praises, especially the fruits of our lips.
All right, quickly, are there one or two persons you'd like to say thank you to? We have just 3 minutes to go.
Oh, wow. I want to thank PRTV for bringing us here. PRTV is doing a very wonderful job. PRTV is growing, you know, in every angle. So we thank you for the wonderful works you are doing. I also want to thank, of course, my wife, my very supportive wife. Thank my producers, Edwin Ladan, Nemis, Banks, who produced the Magani song, and my fans out there. I appreciate you all for your age-long support.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Hosts and fans would like to hear the sweet Platter.
Platter song, yeah.
Otherwise, we will not leave the studio. So give that to us then.
Niza zona chicken kasar plateau. Niza zona chicken kasar plateau. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? Yamata suna hawa da suka. Yanga muke sha, wasu sun ce rikici muke yi, wasu raga yadda makaryata sun ce turi su zauna cikin Platter in sun gada masu je America, in sun gada masu je Australia, in sun gada masu je United Kingdom, amma ni kan Platter ne na zaba. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? The daddy, born and brought up on the sweet Platter, circumcised upon the sweet Platter, my education on the sweet Platter, play this sweet music on the sweet Platter. Thank you.
Privilege. We have the acoustic version as well, the acapella. And with that, we're saying goodbye on Sin City this morning.